Good morning, anybody. It's a little after 6:15 here. It's gonna be the wrap-up video for this banana build truck. I took it out yesterday after painting it. I did a short run before I painted it just to make sure I had enough trim for the tire clearance and all that stuff. So I'm gonna pump a bunch of that in there, but just short. Where did we finish off since the other videos, and then the footage of running. So it's painted. You can probably tell why I named it Banana pretty easily. It's all Proline or Createx airbrush water-based stuff. Mixed the yellow myself. The white is obviously white, and then this is another gray that I mixed up. When I got done spraying the inside, I backed all the yellow with white and then backed with the gray, just so when you looked through the fender well and stuff like to here, you'd see gray. And then while I had the paint in the cup, I cut the clear mask off the top real quick with a razor knife and shot this, and it actually worked pretty well to mask off the bed. So that's how that turned out. That's pretty much it. Sorry for the mess. There's another project going already. So this is where we ended up with all of this. I was able to get everything on the axle. So a little Velcro for the battery, Velcro on the battery, and then I just back it up with rubber band around that plate. Receiver ended up being in there. I'm pretty sure you guys saw it mocked with the motor and the transmission in where they are. And just looped up the wiring, put some zip ties on it, and then I believe I talked about putting the power button there, and it seems to have worked fine. I believe I put a picture in the last one of this rear bracket here with a single point mount. The body can be a little tipsy at the back. So these are just some foam blocks that I had that had sticky stuff on the bottom. So I put those there, and they kind of just are a little limiter to keep the body from rocking too much on there. The desert lizards seem to be fine. The axles, I did end up putting some 833 gears that I had in the rear end, if I didn't talk about that. So I did end up with a little bit of overdrive or underdrive split. That's probably the easiest way to put it. It's a little different to drive. I probably shouldn't have got Capras, maybe something like these for this next thing I have going. Would have been better width-wise. It would have been quite a bit wide or narrower, like maybe 3/8 of an inch, 7/16 of an inch, something like that. It is a little wide for this tire size. For the body, you know, I like scale stuff and I like stuff that looks crazy. It doesn't matter to me. I like both. I don't mind that the tires hang out like they do on the body, but for the tire size, that spread being bigger, it just allows for more things to come in between and get at your pumpkin, because these are farther apart, where if they were closer together, then something will bridge, or it will bridge over something a little more than here. I can fit more of my hand in. So that's about it. But I think to drive it, you have to think a little class one, and I only really have one other build that goes that way, which I'll try to get a tour on soon, and that's that Jeep, but it's not as wide as this. So the tires are, I believe, the same size, but yeah, it's not as wide. So I think you have to think a certain way when you're driving these different size rigs. Obviously, your lines have to be different. and I think this thing will be great. You're going to see, if I haven't already shown it in here, where I took it to test it is a really rough area. The rock here is super cool because it's extremely high grip. It doesn't look like it would be rough, but you put your hands on it and it feels like grip tape for stairs or a skateboard or something. It's so sandpapery feeling in a lot of the areas. And then the first area that I drive on when I get there is extremely jagged, and it really likes to hole and bind up rigs and squish tires and all that. So I did end up breaking that rod end right out of the gate. And if you see my video with the poised chassis and the K-truck cab, that is basically the same format as this, just big tires and straight axles, I broke it in the exact same spot. Like there's one crack canyon thing that you're trying to jump or bridge your rig across, and I broke it in the exact same place, probably like the same amount of minutes in to driving in the same place there. So didn't expect that to happen. I broke a carrier bearing support, like chassis brace, on the poised truck right there, and this one not having one, I didn't think anything would happen, but it did mess up that link. So yeah, I'm sure something's going on in the other part of the video right now, so you guys could see that. But yeah, other than that, because of where I went being so jagged and having so many little things that just could stick up and catch, you know, in different places, it does make something with a smaller tire a little harder to drive in that area. So I moved from some of that and just started hitting some other lines. We'll get into them here in the video. You'll see. I imagine this for a couple of other places, or being fit for a couple of other places that we go around here. And I think it's going to be super impressive. Side hill, because of that width, the low center of gravity, I think it's going to do really good. And then the vertical climbs, it might be, you know, it's early days, but it might be the best vertical climber that I have. That Jeep is extremely close. The poised truck can go up some stuff, but I think I have handicapped it a little bit with that cab. My mullet, certain things it can go up pretty good, other things it can't. This thing though, I took it up a straight face, and I believe I took the K-truck up that face also. And I think this did a little better. The first one off camera was pretty impressive. So I got to get it out to more of those kind of places that aren't so jagged, but maybe have some real cool, real steep side hill or vertical climbs. Downhill, it seems to be okay. It's got a pretty good split from when I threw it on the scales. I don't know if I put that on already or not. Either way, maybe I'll put it in again. I think it was like 63.37, and coming down, if I just mind what I'm doing, it stayed down pretty good. But if not, if I do find out that it starts doing a bunch of endos, then there's a bunch of flat surfaces here on this back axle, and I have that sticky tungsten weight material that you can just cut with a razor knife or snips or something like that, and I can add a little bit of tungsten back here to some of those flat surfaces. You know, I was thinking about the bottom to keep it low. My old man goes with me quite a bit. He brought up maybe put it on the back face of the portal housing, and that's a great idea, because then I'm not interfering with any more ground clearance or anything like that. And maybe I put a small pad back there and a small pad on the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think this thing is going to be surprisingly good the more I get to drive it. Just a couple of things that showed up yesterday. That area wasn't a great area to make it shine, but I've done some first drives there already, and it's kind of a proving ground. So I just figured I'd go in there and do that. Other than that, I can't think of anything really that stands out on it. I did snip. I had a little piece of like license plate backer. There's a pocket in the front bumper that has a spot for the license plate, and I left that there just for a little bit of a dummy piece. I ended up cutting that off. It is probably just due to the ride height. It is a lot of body for the wheel size, or the tire size, excuse me. It's a lot of body. I mean, this isn't much overhang. This really isn't either. What do I got here? I mean, you start looking at that. I mean, that angle is not bad, but because of the ride height, when you come down off of things, if there's something that sits high center, you know, it gets caught on stuff. Or when you go to climb, if there's not a perfectly flat spot underneath, once the truck starts to transition up, then that can get caught on stuff. So yeah, just different thinking. I think, like I said, you just got to think different when you're driving something that is down in that class 1 realm. But I could tell it's definitely not as hindered as a class 1 would be in some of the stuff. And I don't really want to call it hindered, but you just don't have the advantages that you have from all the other C2 type stuff. I think I'm starting to blab now. You guys saw a lot about this truck, so I probably don't need to go on too much longer here with it. Shop's a little messy right now. I started another project already, as usual. See if I can give you a couple teasers here. Those are some of the parts that I'm going to use. Matter of fact, there's one dummied on there. This is where some of the parts came from. These are some wheels. Nothing new. None of this stuff is new. It's new to me, but it's not like new parts, things you've seen before. A real small tire. There. Get a comparison. Diameter's not much different. Pretty good difference on the width. So yeah, that's what's next. I don't know if I'll do anything build wise for it though. Those are some pretty lengthy videos, and I'm not sure that I'm the person to be doing videos like that. I'll definitely, like I say for all the other ones, eventually make it through a tour like of the build breakdown for what this is. It's a big change for a truck that I already have, not a new truck, but it is a new project. I think that's about it. Hope you liked the video. I will get another one up as soon as I can. Maybe a tour before I finish this other project. I think I'm going to be waiting for stuff for a little bit. So until then, thank you for watching all this. Later.